People, Deluded, I'm back again. Now, let's talk about some transfer speculation and all of these rumblings going on. You lot know me, I don't really like these vids, but I do it because you guys like it and you lot give me 10,000 subscribers. I've got to do this for you and them things. Most of this is just waffle, but we might as well. Now, the first one I want to speak about, people, is Torreira, because that's the main motivation behind me doing this particular one right now. A lot of you are consistently asking me what's going on with Torreira. I don't know, people. I don't have no insider knowledge at Arsenal. I'm a fan like you lot, just happen to make videos. I think it's an agent ploy to a degree. First and foremost, I think it's something of nothing. I do think AC Milan genuinely want the player. I mean, people are allowed to do that. I think it's something of nothing, because if people remember the initial Copa America comments or pre-Copa America comments Torreira made, he then reiterated his stuff and whatnot, and even when he signed for the club, it doesn't strike me as someone that wants to move back. And even the context of him saying going back to Italy was said in not a jokey way, but it weren't to be taken seriously. You know, with Arsenal and stuff like that, you can invent these stories, and a lot of these journalists, I can't blame them, because they got to get paid this month and next month in a slow transfer window for us. If you believe it, if you believe anything, what was that? That was Buki, people. Apologies. Can't be lightning because it's sunny and that. But Lacazette is going. Aubameyang is going for mad money. We're getting 55 million for Granit Xhaka. Torreira's going for 38, which makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. I think he's going to stay. On one hand, I think it's something of nothing. Obviously, I don't think he's going to be at the club long. If he develops the way I think he does, then it's Madrid and Barcelona for me. But he's a while from that. So there's that hand. It could be an agent player, because I did say this in a previous vid, but if we're going to adopt the model of renewing contracts within time, now, Torreira's his first season, he's played over 50 times for the first time. He had a good season with periods of kind of dropping in form and fatigue and stuff. But if you look at it, if we cut the crap, if he does stay at the club, if we just assume that these rumours are legit, he is one of our key players. Now, if we're really renewing players' contracts in good time, then obviously Torreira's just signed. But if Torreira is a key player, which I think he is, and he's playing well, then you got to look at possibly Aubameyang and Lacazette, who just more or less joined the club as well 6 months prior, or more, or give or take, or not specific, you get it. If they're getting new deals, you might want to get that too, to be fair. And that's not to be greedy. I'm not saying Torreira's being greedy. That's just in terms of being a sportsman. If you're one of the key players, and he's obviously, Aubameyang's done his thing, getting whatever you have to say about him. He scored 20 plus league goals, regardless of if you think he can get a contract or not. If we just look at his job role, application, and does he deserve a pay rise like in any job, then you can say yes, regardless of if we feel it's financially prudent or not. Lacazette's being talked about it. Again, you've just signed for the club, and you're even hearing rumours of Guendouzi signing a renewed deal, a better improved contract allegedly earlier on in the season. So you've got, is it feelers about that? Not cold feet, but just these sort of little sweeteners. Now, it could be anything. We don't know. I think it's something of nothing, but football's a funny old game that proves us right and wrong time after time. Now, we know Glazides is at that club, and he wants everyone that's played for Arsenal. If you've got an Arsenal, even if you've got an Arsenal T-shirt, if you walk through the Emirates, he wants you. Like, it's the amount of backroom staff, ex-young players, ex-established players, current players that is linked with AC Milan is mad. Apparently, they've asked for a 2-year loan. An £8 million loan fee will be paid for that, with the option to buy for €38 million, which could be paid in full or in instalments. Now, if it's to be in instalments, which I've seen some have said they want to pay it in full, not instalments, but if we just go on this first link I copied and pasted, that's typical Glazides, isn't it? It's that sort of penny pinching is why we're in this position in the first place, and people can't entertain it really and truly, people. There's many different conflicting reports and things saying different stuff and this and that. Now, you've all seen Ornstein talk about Kieran Tierney and things, and it does seem like he's picking up pace in regards to Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal are going to sign him, Carrasco, and so many other guys this window. I think he's a decent player. I think he's, regardless of his injury problems, which we can touch on, or his injuries last year, or in total, he still played, forgive me if I'm wrong, 40 times last season, which only a handful of Arsenal, well, in fact, that's a lie. Quite a few players can say it. But it's nice to see a player can stay fit in it, because many Arsenal players have little injuries. They miss a 1 week here, 2 weeks there, a month here, and it all adds up. Or you see the long-time layoffs. Now, injuries are part and parcel of the game, people. Apparently, obviously, we bidded 15 million. It didn't work out. They want nearer to 25 million, which they rejected, allegedly, from Everton last season. Apparently, Tierney really wants to talk to not just Arsenal, but anybody interested. He wants to further his career, which could make the which could make the Premier League appealing. Obviously, we're not in the Champions League, and he's won titles with Celtic. It is a big decision to make, but that's one thing that could be swayed. Apparently, we're optimistic about it and stuff, but I've seen in the last hour that we've apparently had a second bid turned down. Apparently, it's nearer to 25 million, but who knows now. Really and truly, just give them the money, man. Just give them the money. If you can offer them some young players, if you can offer, okay, we'll pay this sort of amount now, but Y amount will be paid later. Just get it done, man, because he's a competent left back. We need to make sure that we can sign a left back that has many years left in front of him. He's 22. Leno, I don't know how old Leno is specifically, people, but Leno is not the oldest. Holding is not the oldest. Mavropanos is not the oldest. Bielik as well, but Bellerin as well. It's a young sort of. We need a young sort of defence. So if we can at some point have Holding with a competent centre half, Leno there, Bellerin is not on the old side, and Tierney of 22 years of age. That's a defensive back 5-4 excluding the keeper that to move forward with, and one that has some sort of longevity. In terms of competency, he's someone we need because he's good going both ways, defensively and offensively. Monreal looked shattered at some points last season and had good periods and bad. Kola, you know what you're gonna get with Kolasinac. You know going forward he's sick. Defensively he's a liability. He's a nightmare essentially. There's no way around it. So we need to do something in that regards. I've also seen that apparently Marseille, who apparently are having issues in relation to FFP, need to raise €50 million. So the Arsenal links with Torreira have returned. Obviously, he's a World Cup winner. He's a good technical-based footballer. He can play on the flanks. He's better inside nowadays, I think, and he's done that. He's a World Cup winner just to gas him up a bit, and he's done his thing for Marseille. Personally, I feel he had a good first half of the season last season, and he had an indifferent second half. I think he's a baller, but there is a an air of doubt or a cloud of, what's the saying, people? There's just a cloud over him, and I think he's a baller, but there's just something about it. It's nothing to do with his Newcastle days and all of that sort of jazz that people talk about. One, I just don't think Arsenal are really looking at him beyond the fact that we know him. We've obviously wanted him at a point, and it's not going to happen. So the less said about that one, the better. What else is there? Talking on Tierney's injuries quickly, people. In 2016-17, ligaments made him miss 85 days. 17-18, calf injury, missed 22 days. 2018-19, he missed 132 with various knocks, hip injuries, and other groin surgery and other little problems like that, people. Apparently, so, I mean, it is something to consider, but I try to stay away from the injury talk. Obviously, if a man's injury prone, he's injury prone. But I try to stay away from that because I just want to talk about football. I'm not a physiotherapist and a doctor. And obviously, you can have concerns, but we don't really. It means nothing, and he still played a lot of time. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Did he actually play 40 times last season? We need to check, people. I could be bugging. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he had his injuries and stuff like that, and Arsenal will probably have to do their due diligence in that. But I'm sure he played a significant amount of times, people. I could be, in fact, no, I don't think, I'm starting to doubt myself, people. I could have been bugging out. Apologies if I'm bugging out, this is why we're checking. He's actually contracted until 2023, so that's a sly ace up the patch of Celtic. He made 20 appearances in the league, people. Yeah, no, I'm right. He made 40 appearances. Yeah, he made 40 appearances. So, even with all of that injury stuff, people, they still make 40 appearances. Again, there are a few players in the squad who can do that, but it's nice to see in it. Let me look at when, because I'm not going to act like I know it full stop, when these injuries were about. So he got that against Valencia in February. I missed the tulip. Well, he had a madness. December wasn't kind to him at all with the hip injury. Yeah, really, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, man, we just need to make sure we can keep him fit. I won't lie, I'm not going to say it's concerning because I don't want to speak on it, people, but Cola's had injuries and fitness problems and stuff like that. We need players that are really here and they're going to be fit and be able to play, because as much as you can praise Salah and Mane and Sterling and all of these sick players that for Liverpool seasons and City seasons and for all their technical ability and their competence, they're always more or less fit, people. How many game weeks did these men miss? Obviously, injuries are part and parcel of the game. If you get injured, you get injured, innit? But staying fit, probably playing through the pain barrier, probably playing when you're not 100% fit, maybe something Arsenal players need to look at, to be fair with you. I don't feel there's any other rumours and stuff, people. Let's give it one last little look of the accounts. I've already talked about Tierney, so there's no need for that. Some old Celtic head criticising Arsenal. I'm going to speak on that. Who are you? Yeah, people. Oh, Florentino are the latest club to register interest in Benacia. Why that's relevant is simply if we don't buy him back, we get 30%. So that could be something allegedly for the kitty. Apparently, Okonkwo, the young PSG player, who I can't understand why he's not at the Under-21s Championship. Again, I'm not saying he's a must, but would have thought he was someone that could have reunited his career if he's not injured playing in a competition like that. He's linked with a move from PSG for as little as 13 million. Now, didn't we chase him all January and we're told like 20 or something? So maybe that's a route. Apologies, Arsenal could go down again. But in terms of other news, people, I don't think there's much. I don't feel there's much to other talk about. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here. People, deluded. I'm out.